I'm Doug Dalton, and this is Cedric Gracia, and we're here at Interbike 2006 to introduce Cedric's new bicycle called the Gracia. What can you tell us about your new bike, Cedric?
Well, I guess it's a result of maybe now 2 years of developing with you, Didi, and really stoked about it. Like it's a long time we're working on something new, and it's something like nobody have the shape, the technology, and this is after all this year racing. That's where we come up to a beautiful bike with a lot of travel, but at the same time good travel, no like stupidity.
Have worked with a lot of partners, mainly Marzocchi, in really optimizing the bike around the shock. So we've kept our single pivot design, but then moved into a linkage here that really drives the rear shock, and we can change the leverage ratio. What do you notice that thing doing to your bike while you're riding?
Well, basically, like compared to the Jimny, like the bike I had like for 4 or 5 years, like a really competitive bike. But I think now, like the tracks on the walk-up get really rough, and nobody work on them anymore. And like instance, like this year, like in Fort William, like the braking bumps was so hard. Like it was so hard for me, like if I was riding with the older bike, I think to be able to compete with the top guys. But like this year, like I show up with a Gracia bike in Fort Williams, and all of a sudden, like it just felt like somebody just put pavement on the road, and it was just so much comfortable and just riding like on the control instead of like fighting, and it's awesome.
Nice. Yeah, you mentioned braking bumps. That's one thing we really worked on a lot on this bike, is to optimize braking using this brake arm, and then different configurations of our rear end and different locations of mounting the brake arm in the front end. We've actually got the bike to do a little bit of squatting. So as you come into a corner and put the brakes on, the bike actually sits down, keeping your head angle at the same, keeping your body weight back, and really increasing traction throughout coming into the corner, and then also getting through that corner. How do you think really like handling characteristics compare this guy and the Gemini?
Well, I think like Gemini is still like awesome bike, but it's definitely like a bike more like for riding everywhere, any condition, and you're going to have a lot of fun. This is more like a racing machine. This bike, you're going to go to every downhill, rough or anything, and you're never going to be in danger, because that's a mean machine.
It's a mean machine.
That's a mean machine. And the good thing, like you say, about this point we have and we work on having a bike like being natural on the braking area or squatting. This is really important for us, because sometimes we can have a downhill race where it's pretty flat, and we don't need that. We just put the braking link on the natural point. And when it's really rough and steep, like Mont Saint-Anne, you know how hard it is. You know, you don't want to drive on the front of your bike and and get tires under the shoulder and feeling like the balance, the weight transfers so much. Then you put it on the other position, and you feel your bike squatting in every braking area. And this is so good, because you don't fight so much with the bike. You just make one person, and that's most important to get a good result, I think.
Yeah. No, that's excellent. We did make the rear swing arm modular this year. This is actually prototype, so the final versions have a replaceable rear dropout, so you can do either brake link or no brake link, depending on the demands of the course.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, we've worked really hard with our testing guys, with our product managers, to bring out a bike that not only looks sweet, but has the performance characteristics that really make it a Cannondale and ride like a Cannondale. So. Yeah, it's been a good partnership, and CG and I really work hard to, bottom line is bring you better bikes, bring you bikes that are more fun to ride, and that's what riding's all about for us. So
exactly, we just want to have you guys jump on the bike and feel like mountain biking is easy, and that's the only way to do it. It's when you have a good bike, like so much easier, when you see your friends, suffering, and you're just like feeling like you're riding on the road. Is awesome.
Yeah. Nice. Well.
Good job, Didi.
Good job, CG.
Hey, you're pretty awesome.
Hey, you keep up the good work.
Yeah, it's not so bad, huh?
Not
bad for a Frenchman.
What do you think? Maybe a snot fight to finish it off?
No, snot fight.
Okay.
We had this on tape already. Hey, cheers.
Hi, I'm Doug Dalton, and I'm here with a man who really needs no introduction, probably one of our sport's greatest ambassadors, and someone who's been around in cycling for 35 so years now, Tinker? How long's it been? Tinker Juarez, by the way.
Hey Doug, I've been around for 33 years bike racing, and I'm enjoying every moment and every day.
So Tinker, back in the 70s, you had a pretty big part in kind of the freestyle aspect too, of getting kind of BMX going and jumping and that kind of thing. Of your cycling career, what would you say have been like really the highlights of things you've done?
Well, I think the highlight is just still doing it for as long as I'm doing. Every day is like a rush, and I get up every day just thinking that this is my job. I get to ride my bike. I got to grow up doing BMX, and then from BMX I got to get into the bigger wheels and to do mountain biking, and just got to do all the experience that all people dream of doing as a cyclist.
Well, that's great, and that experience really plays a big role in our research and development. And like any of our bikes, we really pick on key riders that we employ to really develop and design and kind of help us out with the overall layout of this bike. The one we're looking at here is the new Rush. Tinker's moving from the Scalpel to the Rush for a lot of his long distance riding. Because I think, tell us a little bit what you feel when you're riding the Rush. How does it differ from your Scalpel, or what things about the Rush make it a good bike for all the long races that you're doing?
Well, the main thing that I like about the Rush is that it's giving me a little bit more travel, which the Scalpel didn't have as much travel because it was just it was more of a cross-country bike, but I was still able to do and accomplish all the big races that I needed to do. But the Rush is now give me more travel. It's a little bit more of a comfortable bike. It's just been fantastic so far. So I'm really loving it, and I'm just excited about it.
Nice. And more travel. It's really more quality travel too. We've worked really hard with our research and development and our guys in the test lab to do a lot of mathematical analysis to really optimize this bike to be a comfortable bike, to give you good pedaling performance, but also to absorb a lot of bumps. So what I find when I'm riding the Rush is I can sit down a lot more, I can keep my pedals rotating a lot more, which transfers into really keeping momentum, and yeah, a really good, comfortable all-day ride. So
I agree.
Yeah. So you've been riding a lot of 24-hour events lately and a lot of distances here. Tell us a little bit about what your next challenge is, Tinker.
Well, my next challenge is not going to be on a Rush, but actually it's going to be on my road bike, and I don't want to skip the talk about the Rush, but that will be my next event. And but as far as racing this into 24 hours, I will be doing a 12 hours in Brazil, and that's going to be fun, and I'll be racing the Rush, and just like I said, I'll be counting to race more races next year, doing more 24 hours and things like that.
Nice. Well, cool. Well, thanks very much, Tinker, for all the stuff that, you've helped us with over the years, and developing stuff like this is awesome. And hey, just working with you, man, it makes my job more fun as well.
Well, thank you very much, Doug Dalton.
Yeah. So thank you guys, and have a good time. Talk to you soon.